let's shit talk the Titans a little more, I guess.
I'm guessing most of you by this point watched the Razaget and Alexstrasza fight.
He had no
cinematic,
range, yeah.
Razaget
That made it
says how
very difficult.
Alexstrasza had forced the Titan edicts upon them and how she betrayed the world that gave the proto-dragon's life. Now, she's actually telling the truth, as this ties in with the old Alderman reveals of the Titan Keepers. It also ties in with the Dragonflight Outlook that talks about how the Well of Eternity might have been created by the Titans and it was not Azeroth whatsoever. Overall, a significant amount of new hints are pointing that Azeroth literally has nothing to do with the Titans and that these guys are just a Black Empire 2.0, just quite a bit
tabs of
nicer, and they
Neurogum.
may actually
Hold on. 2 tabs of Neurogum, and you down bosses, and your nips are hard enough to cut diamonds there. True testimony from
end
Matt.
up being the bad guys at the end of this expansion. So, what is all this new information? And
Dragon
are we
Mommy is a
really
liar?
going to
You
be
think so?
fighting the Titans? Just real quick before we get into the video, as you guys know, I've been using the Ridge wallet for over 2 years at this point, and it is.
Some people in chat said they have the Ridge wallet. I just see it as an ass breaker. I don't know. A metal wallet just sounds very uncomfortable to me. But I could be wrong. Goes and buys some Neuro. There you go. Use code SAM10 at checkout. Code SAM10 at checkout for Neurogum. You get your 10% off.
Regurgitate the same info a million times. You can check
Blah, blah,
out some
blah.
of the previous videos I made for the really
Good to have you
detailed
back, Bag.
information. But overall, there has been an obvious but quite a significant push to make the Titans gray and to split Azeroth away from the entire "this is a world soul that needs to awaken" narrative. This actually started quite a bit earlier, but the main point was in Shadowlands when we had that broker researcher guy that wanted to learn how the universe truly works.
Oh yeah, I remember
and
that
he
guy.
traveled everywhere all across the cosmos. To not bore you, to make the long story short, what he learned about Azeroth in particular is that most of the people
Blue
there
snail?
were
I'll check it
brainwashed
out.
by the Titans and that they fully bought into their lies. It was said that the first ones are really the true creators of everything and that the Titans are literally just taking credit for their work, so just slapping some branding and just calling it their own. This is already old info, but this was further confirmed in the Alderman records, like directly by the Titan.
Yeah, the
minions.
Legacy of
From
Tyr dungeon
one of the
revealed a lot
letters,
of this
we
shit too.
discovered that what this broker had researched was pretty much exactly spot on, and it was really an elaborate plan of the Titan Keepers.
The Titans see us as pawns to further their goals.
The Titan Keepers had two really specific instructions. First,
well, don't forget, I mean, the Titans created us before the Curse of Flesh, which kind of fucked up with their plans. We were created kind of as just like maintenance workers of Azeroth, right? Especially the humans and the dwarves, like all the Titan creations, I believe, were the gnomes as well. We were all just Titan creations until the Curse of Flesh. So yes, we were their minions technically. And maybe the Titans still see us that way.
Is to completely alienate
The
the Black
Titans
Empire,
are
rewrite the history,
plagiaristic
make them all
bastards.
bad, deny all their advancements, and just straight out paint them as demons. The second one is
There
that
is
they
no
forbade
life without
any
choice.
talk about the first ones, even between themselves, and that from now on.
So are we essentially saying that we have the old gods to thank for who we are? Because the old gods really gave us choice with the Curse of Flesh and everything. They're the ones who made us who we are now. Before that, we were basically mindless drones just doing the Titans' bidding.
The Titans are to be known as the true creators. We also learned that there is a Zereth Orders for the beings of order, similar to how we have Zereth Mortis from the Shadowlands, and that apparently the first ones had granted the Titans their powers in Zereth Orders. This means that
Humans
more
are
than
also
likely the
mutants,
entire
yes.
Titan Pantheon was made from the prototypes
They
in
are.
much the same manner as the Pantheon of the Shadowlands. So now the logic, these beings...
The Vrykul are actually more... They're closer to the Titan models that were created than we are. I say we as humans. Humans in game are, right? The humans in game are like like a deformed, mutated version of the Vrykul, which the Vrykul are actually, you know, like I said, closer to the stone Titan creations that the Titans originally made to monitor monitor Azeroth.
of order used is, well,
there's a lot we
kinda
don't know
bending
about
the logic to their
before
own
the
side.
Titans
So
came to
unless
Azeroth.
something
True.
is ordered, it can't set to be created. Therefore, we ordered it, which means we created it. This also kind of goes to show you just how fanatical and dogmatic the Titans really are. So to not bore you with this crazy Shadowlands mambo jumbo, this really brings us to some interesting information. You can 100% see this theme all across Dragonflight, and now that the expansion is literally out, from the most recent Razaget cinematic, you can see this too. We still don't know how it all went down at this point in time, but Razageth may actually be fully telling the truth. The lead narrative guy from Blizzard in an interview literally said that the Primalists are not the bad guys, they actually have a legit point. However, they wanted to enforce their demands in such a terrible manner that they ultimately became villains, which is the entire gigantic war that Alex Raza references. The most important point is that they were actually right. Keep in mind, this is what Razageth, the youngest of the Primal Incarnates.
I don't think the Primal Incarnates are wrong. I just think kind of their attitude right now is a bit wrong. But she's pissed because she believes that their entire race was basically tainted, and unwillingly. For a long time, the dragons didn't know that the water had been tainted they were drinking from.
Essentially, the elemental dragon aspect says, you forced the Titan edicts upon us. You betrayed the world that gave us life, and when we dared resist you, you cast us out. When you examine it, this statement actually holds a lot of...
Holy crap, look at Rathian. Rathian is just a young dragon. Look at his size compared to Razageth.
Dude, because literally this is what the Titans had actually
Dragon Mommy was in the wrong.
Really interesting bits of information. One from the dragonflight outbook and the second from
Dragonflight from elementals that were reborn from Azeroth.
Same thing. There was this water source for the dragons, and Yogg-Saron had used it to create Galakrond and to just wreak havoc upon the Titan-ruled world. So the Titans decided to cleanse these waters and instead to infuse it with their own power. However, either than this, they...
Essentially, the old gods and the Titans use all the entities of Azeroth, like all the living beings on Azeroth, as pawns in their battle against each other. The old gods create Galakrond and corrupt and make Galakrond. Then the Titans respond by tainting the water and making the dragon aspects. The Titans create... the human / gnome / dwarf stone mason guys to basically oversee Azeroth. The old gods respond by corrupting them with the curse of flesh. It's a back and forth. We're just pawns in their game.
2 steps even further. They created a filtration system from the Titan.
Is it time to kill the Titans? Maybe.
Arcane, which is order magic into the
That's why we can't trust. Yeah, can't trust anything.
Regards, they very subtly turn dragons into Titan dragons and force them to follow the Titans' philosophies. Blizzard actually confirmed in an interview that this was not mind control, but kind of a really sophisticated...
Yep, it's a war they're fighting. We're stuck in the middle, exactly.
What the artbook reveals is even more stunning, and that is that not only did the Titans corrupt the dragons, but this might have actually been an effort.
Mojo Kitten, thank you so much for the sub, man. Welcome to our Scourge, and you are now a Death Knight of our Scourge. And Dixie. Oh, Dixie Normus, hold on.
Use another
These are 2 gifted subs from Wither Lacrimore. Thank you so much for the 2 gifted subs, Wither. You now get the Ichibad pet. Congratulations on that, and thank you so much for the 2 gifted subs, and congrats to Mojo and Dixie. You are now Death Knights of our Scourge.
To turn Azeroth into a Titan.
No more ads for you.
That is where the entire story comes in. Keep in mind,
we killed the old gods and now it's their turn.
The so-called Azeroth World Soul comes from the Chronicle, which is now known to be clear Titan propaganda. They say that Azeroth is an ass and Titan.
Time to make some nuclear bombs to get rid of the Titans.
However, all the new info is showing us that this is not true whatsoever. The new book literally tells us that Azeroth is elemental in nature, and this actually makes total sense. We have known before that the elementals are the only true native beings to planets, so it kind of makes sense that Azeroth is elemental as well. Azeroth is without a doubt a super potent power source, but that is really as far as we can take it. There's probably a heavy connection.
We still don't really know what Azeroth's all about.
Furthermore, the naming convention is also incredibly important. All these behind the scenes, these machineries are called Zereths, such as Zereth Mortis, Zereth Ordis, and we know that there is one for every cosmological force. Their name is just so incredibly similar to Azeroth that it just doesn't really need a second thought. From the Shadowlands, we know that the various cosmological forces were probably just...
So what if Azeroth is an elemental Titan? I don't know. It could be. One thing we know for sure, we don't know a lot about Azeroth, but one thing we know for sure is it is clearly powerful. Whatever it is very powerful because it has attracted the attention of the Titans and the old gods for millennia. They have been fighting over it for a long time, so we know both sides want it. We're just not exactly sure why yet.
And that the first ones came in, established balance, but nonetheless, it is highly likely that they all continue to vie for supremacy. So Razageth is actually right. Alexstrasza really did betray the world that gave them life. All these guys are almost certainly invaders and are doing their own thing, pushing their own agenda. The Titans more than likely didn't save Azeroth from the Black Empire, but the Black Empire was literally only one of their competitors. You can observe this from some of the whispers that you can see when you travel to the really ancient past, right, in Dragonflight, to the times of the Black Empire. Here are just some of the whispers you can hear.
How cool was it when we went to the Black Empire during that quest line, and N'Zoth, his all-seeing eye, looks at us and says, "I know who you are and who you will become." It's so badass, because we are in a back in time, far back in time, before we killed N'Zoth, and yet N'Zoth already knows the things to come. It's crazy. That was so cool. Yeah, when he said that in the quest line, I was like, whoa.
Sing beneath the surface.
Fucking mind-blowing.
Our dreams, our song. With many eyes they will see again. They will drink and be uplifted. This, in my opinion, is literally the old god versions of what the Titans can be doing all this time. When the Titans came in, they told us that the old gods attempted to corrupt the nascent Titan, but from all these hints, the real story seems to be more like...
Who are the first ones?
Taking Azeroth for the vote.
I'm honestly still confused about him. Shadowlands lore is completely fucked. I'm not going to lie to you. Lords of Cinder, Shadowlands lore was a departure from all World of Warcraft lore. The first ones essentially are supposed to be the ones who like created like progenitors of all of the shit that currently exists. Like they created the skeletal forms of everything. It's weird. They are the first ones. It's in the name. Yeah, they're supposed to be like the creators of everything. I don't like that the lore went in that direction, honestly. I don't think we needed to know that. It was better when it was a mystery. The first ones are Blizzard Corp employees, basically. Yeah. Yeah, they're supposedly the ones who created everything. They're the first ones. They are the first ones who were created. Now, they created the Titans, in essence, I guess. Right? That was what the lore said. Now, where did the Void come in this? I have no idea.
So
well, I want to fuck them up too. Yeah,
we
should.
The source for Azeroth being a Titan World Soul is literally the Titan
and get their loot, of course. That's the most
me,
important
bro.
part.
Like, there's literally not much more than that. So the Titans got rid of the old god presence and started instead pumping Azeroth with arcane energies through all these facilities that they built by using the Titan Forged in order to enforce this order. This did two things: turned Azeroth into a mega Titan, and also corrupted the native beings so that they will aid them in the process and to defend them against the other invaders. This, when you think about it, is literally what the old gods did. Turned the native elementals into their servants that defended against the Titan invasion, but the only difference here is...
If you could take on the gods of the universe, then what's left? Well, that makes us gods then, I guess.
Is that the old gods actually
nothing.
Lost this
That's it.
war.
That's the end of World of Warcraft.
From the art book that talks about the Titans pumping the so-called Wellspring of Eternity with
the gods of the gods.
Turning it from elemental into more than likely the Well of Eternity, the most potent magic source that you know of. Previously, it was said that this well was created by Amantul ripping out Yasharaj, so this was a wound. But it is likely that this part of Azeroth is some incredibly powerful
then Civil War breaks out after we kill the Titans.
Which is why Yasharaj was probably planted there in the first place. However, more than likely, Azeroth didn't actually bleed arcane. It bled elemental magic, and the Titans used that wound to literally change the world soul to the core, to like pump it up to become a Titan. What is even more interesting is that a few years back, Blizzard said something along the lines of Azeroth will never awaken. They were more talking about how we are all Azeroth. It's not Azeroth is this Titan, but we're all part of it. However, this could be a super interesting hint, because maybe Azeroth isn't actually meant to awaken. Azeroth might just be a power source that is meant to keep this first one.
I'm reading where this conversation's going. Yeah, so we didn't really meet the first ones, right? We didn't actually meet who they were. We met what was left behind by them, kind of, and what was still going on. So yes, I guess you can say we are the loot of the first ones, because we are the remnants of what they created.
Mechanism in place to power all these Zerats, and by turning the power source into their weapon,
I'm watching stream a Transformers trailer at the same time.
Is going to win the ultimate struggle.
That was a cool trailer.
A lot of this stuff is still in the hint phase, so we can't really say any of this with like 100% certainty. However, it is incredibly likely that we might actually.
You know what? I'll watch it after this. How about that? We'll watch the Transformers trailer.
And that we could also see the dragon aspects distancing
so
themselves from their
true
masters. Thank you for watching. Check out how Northrend was updated by clicking on the screen, and check out Doran's Academy.
Maybe are we their ultimate goal? Maybe. Maybe. There's a lot of what ifs and stuff. I prefer the mystery. I don't like the fact that Shadowlands tried to explain everything. Honestly, I prefer there to be a little bit of mystery.